Be warned, this video will contain spoilers. For nearly 2 decades, one of the biggest questions lingering from the original Dexter series has finally been answered in Dexter: Original Sin. The misconception surrounding Harry Morgan's decision regarding Brian Moser has long fueled debates among fans. It always seemed like Harry deliberately rejected Brian, choosing to raise Dexter while leaving his older brother to fend for himself in a psychiatric institution. Brian had his own version of the story, and for years, it was the only explanation available. But now, Original Sin has offered the definitive answer to why Harry made that heartbreaking decision. The revelation in Original Sin Episode 9 completely reframes Harry's actions. The idea that he simply abandoned Brian is far from the truth. In fact, after Laura's tragic death, Harry and Doris didn't just take in Dexter, they adopted Brian as well. They genuinely tried to provide both boys with a safe, stable home. But as time went on, Brian's deeply rooted trauma began to surface in disturbing ways. He attempted to smother baby Deb, smashed a window with his bare hand, and even lashed out physically at Harry. It wasn't a simple case of favoritism or cold-hearted abandonment. It was a situation that Harry and Doris found themselves utterly unequipped to handle. That doesn't mean mistakes weren't made. The Morgans never sought therapy for Brian before ultimately surrendering him to social services, and that decision has long-lasting consequences. But labeling it as abandonment would be an oversimplification of a complex and painful reality. Harry didn't just pick Dexter and discard Brian. He fought to keep them together, to give them a better life. Even Doris, who had every reason to reject raising the children of her husband's mistress, chose to step up and become a mother to them. That speaks volumes about the efforts they made to do what they believed was best at the time. Yet, Brian's perception of these events tells an entirely different story. From his point of view, Harry was directly responsible for tearing him away from Dexter. In Season 1 of Dexter, he tells his brother, "You were 3, a little bird with a broken wing. Harry wanted to make you all better. But me, I could see it in his eyes. All they saw was a fucked up kid. They all did. So they locked me up." That bitterness and resentment were rooted in his own traumatic experiences, but he failed, or perhaps refused, to acknowledge the real reason behind his removal. Now, with Dexter, Original Sin bringing Brian's story to the forefront, his vendetta against those who separated him from Dexter is reaching a boiling point. He's already demonstrated how deeply his resentment runs by taking out his anger on those he deems responsible. The therapist who worked with him? Dead. A nurse from the psychiatric facility? Gone. Barb, the social worker who facilitated his removal from the Morgan home? Murdered. The list is growing, and it's only a matter of time before he sets his sights on Harry, or even Bobby Watt. This intensifying conflict could lead to an explosive confrontation in the season finale, and given Brian's track record, it's unlikely he'll stop until he gets what he believes is justice. What do you think about the show finally clearing up this long-standing misconception? Do you believe Harry made the right choice? Or do you think he should have done more for Brian? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is definitely a topic worth discussing.